to the last two presenters of the day, and we have our next one comes to us, I believe, is it Tara Lynne? I'll let you jump in. And
Tara. I just go by
Tara,
Tara.
yes. And are you in Utah?
I am. Yep.
Yes, I think I added you to our Utah list. It's fun when, not to say that if you're not in Utah, it it matters, but it's just kind of fun to feel a sense of community with people that are nearby. And so
Definitely.
love it. Okay, I'm going to do a quick intro. And she says horses are her spirit animal, and she also embodies the elegance, playfulness, and spirit of freedom that they embody. She's a lover of singing, acting, and shining in the spotlight. Embraces her Leo sun's vibrant energy with a Scorpio moon and rising. Let's see, Scorpio moon rising. She has deep intuitive connection with the emotional and energetic currents around her, which she brings into her work. As a creator of personal sanctuaries, Tara is passionate about transforming cluttered spaces into intentional, inspiring environments. By combining her skills in energy healing and astrology, she guides her clients on a holistic journey of healing and self-discovery and space transformation. Utilizing their birth charts, she helps them understand their own unique energy and create environments that support and enhance who they are and who they're becoming through her programs. So this is fun. And I actually had the opportunity to do some one-on-ones with her at the time that I was moving. And so a combination of her guidance and what I realized was tools like Zero Point Meridian that I had to kind of incorporate into that process, we were able to get me moved. It was like a huge downsizing project. And when she came on the scene, it was like I felt like I had someone, even if it was on my phone, that would walk me through reorganizing my space. So thank you. And I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, that was really fun. It was fun to see you being able to like emotionally release items so that they
Mhm.
didn't carry with you into your new space. So,
Yes, to shift the old and new energies. Yep,
yeah,
for
awesome.
sure.
Okay, I am going to share my screen. So I am going to help you create a healing sanctuary in your home, and we're actually gonna do that today. Um, So this is where my story began. Let me take you back to 2020. I'm sure many of you remember it well. I was so excited because I was going to have my youngest child going to kindergarten. So I was going to have half a day all to myself. And then 2020 hit, and instead of my child going to kindergarten, all of my kids came home 24/7. And it was like a big shocker. I did not have time to myself. It was always noisy. My kids didn't have that outlet of playing with friends. And now they were doing online schooling, and really the only place that would fit in our home for their little classroom was our bedroom. And so I didn't even have a space to myself. It was an entire communal space, and I was overwhelmed. And it showed up in our home. Now you might be thinking, well, this doesn't look so bad. Well, let me zoom in a little bit for you. This is what was on my mind all the time. These were all the items, the to-do lists, the projects that were weighing on me, and I did not have the mental bandwidth or the emotional capacity to do anything with them. And so they sat and they piled up over the years where my kids were at home doing online schooling, and I was just overwhelmed. And it wasn't just our bedroom, it was my entire house. This is pretty much what it looked like for those years where my kids were home. It was a mess, it was chaotic. Why is the cabinet door open? I don't know. I have kids. And it's like this mirror effect, right? Where my internal state was manifesting in my home. And the home was reflecting that back to me. And so it was just this chaos of going back and forth and not really having that sanctuary space that I needed. And this is where my saving grace came in. So while I was gone, visiting my cousin, my husband created this beautiful shelf for me down here. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I have this nice little shelf. So I can decorate it, right? I have permission to spend a little bit of money and decorate it the way that I want to because he has given me this area. Not that I needed permission, but that's where I was at that time. And so I created this beautiful little space for me, and it was great because so let me tell you where it was. It was in our toilet room. And so I had this little space that was all my own, and my body required that I spend time in here every day, multiple times a day. And oftentimes, if you are in the bathroom, people won't bother you. And when your kids do, you can say, I'm in the bathroom. And that's explanation enough. And most of the time, they'll leave you alone. And there weren't any of my piles or to-do tasks in this area, so my mind could relax and just release. And these items that I added, they lit me up. They brought a smile to my face, and they reflected the energy that I wanted to have. This painting is actually one that I had my best friend create for me because it represents the balance between the masculine and the feminine, between doing and being. And now I have expanded that toilet room sanctuary to be our bedroom. I have kicked my kids out. They are back at school. And this is where I get to go to relax and to reconnect with my own energy so that I can step back into our home as the mom I want to be, as the wife I want to be, as the person that I am growing into and developing into. And I'm not saying that my house is always clean, and it is not. I have ADHD tendencies and I still have kids. And so this is my area that I try to keep neat and nice, my little personal sanctuary, so that when life feels overwhelming, my kids are being noisy and chaotic, and I am feeling overstimulated, I have this place to retreat to where I can slough off everybody else's energy and reconnect with my own emotions, focus on calming my mind and my body and recentering my energy. And then when I feel grounded, I am a better person. I am that better mom. And this is the energy that I want to amplify in my body and my home. And this is what I want for you too. So what is a personal sanctuary? Well, later I'm going to have you come up with your own definition, but this is my definition. A personal sanctuary is a space in your home that reflects back who you are and who you're becoming. It's a safe place to recharge, nurture yourself as you evolve, connect with God, and be unapologetically you. And what makes a personal sanctuary so powerful is that it provides a window to your internal well-being. Our external environment mirrors our internal state. So a chaotic space can amplify the stress and an overwhelm, while a calm and intentional sanctuary promotes peace and clarity. The personal sanctuary also grounds you during overwhelming times. You have a dedicated space that allows you to step away from the noise of daily life, and it becomes a place to process your emotions, release tension, and reconnect with ourselves. As you go through the process of decluttering, not only are you releasing physical items, but you are also releasing the mental, emotional, energetic load that you carry. And your sanctuary reflects who you are and who you're becoming and reminds you of your resilience and strength. It helps you to recharge, to maintain balance, and navigate life's challenges. When the world around you is full of chaos, you can bring that inner peace of your sanctuary into wherever you go, into your daily life, into your work, into the chaotic grocery store where you have a tendency to feel everybody else's emotions. Instead, you can just practice bringing that peace with you instead of pulling in everybody else's emotions. Okay, here is a tip for you. Your personal sanctuary doesn't have to be a whole room. So mine started in our toilet room, and then I expanded it into our bedroom, but it doesn't have to be a whole room. It can be a corner of a room. It can be just a shelf or even a single drawer. So it's not about the size, it's about the intention. What matters is that this space feels like a soft place to land where you can connect with yourself and be in your own energy. And I'm going to help you create your own personal sanctuary so you can experience this healing power that comes from it for yourself. I want you to see how even small intentional changes can bring more peace, clarity, and healing into your life. Because when you have a space that truly supports you, the ripple effects are incredible. Now, you don't have to have a shoebox, but it's a great place to start. And if you don't know where you want your sanctuary to be, or you don't have room for it yet, you can keep it in, you can keep this box in a safe place when you need to take a break from the world and reconnect with your own energy. And you can bring your shoebox sanctuary to a quiet space, open it up, absorb yourself into the feelings and the energies of the sanctuary, and let the chaos fade into the background for a little while. Now, everything is created twice, first in the mind and then into reality. And there are two sides of creating your personal sanctuary. There is the energetic creation and the physical creation. And we are going to be working on both of them. So I'm going to have you define your sanctuary, declutter your sanctuary, and decorate your sanctuary. And there is an energetic and a physical component to each of those. So let's start with the energetic component of defining your sanctuary. I want you to place your hands on your heart and take a few breaths. Just get centered and grounded. And then I want you to ask yourself, what is your definition of a personal sanctuary? What does it mean to you to have this space for yourself?
I'd love to see people in the chat share that if they would like to. And I just want to thank you, Tara. I put in here, this is exactly what I need. When I gave up, when I downsized, I had an entire room sanctuary and I haven't figured out how to recreate it. And thank you, thank you. This is it.
Perfect. I love it. I'm not looking at the chat because I would get so distracted. So
I'll
please
throw it in.
let me know if there is something in the chat, questions or anything in the chat. And hopefully we'll have time for questions at the end too. Okay, now as you're thinking about your personal sanctuary, what emotions do you want it to elicit? Do you want it to be peaceful, calming, joyful? Do you want to feel creative or powerful? A sanctuary doesn't have to be necessarily just peaceful. It can be these other emotions, and oftentimes it is. And we'll talk, when you bring astrology into it, that's when it's really fun, because oftentimes when somebody says sanctuary, it's like, oh, peaceful and relaxing, but maybe your sanctuary isn't. So, or maybe, I shouldn't say that. Maybe the energy for your personal sanctuary is best used with a different type of energy. Okay, now all these things that you thought of, I want you to take out a paper or a journal. Hopefully you have one, because there have been many things said today that need to be written down and remembered. And I want you to write down what your personal sanctuary means to you and the feelings that you want it to include. I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, you can keep writing as I talk, feel free. Now we're going to move into the physical aspect of defining your sanctuary. So what is the container that your sanctuary will be in? So if you want to do a shoebox, the shoebox is your container. If you want to do something a little bit more ambiguous, like a corner of a room, where are the boundaries of that sanctuary? It's important to have boundaries in all aspects of our life, and that also includes our sanctuary. And I feel like there's a lot of learning, a lot of lessons that can be experienced through holding that sanctuary boundary. Okay, so where do you want your sanctuary to be? Maybe you already have a sanctuary and you can just take some time sprucing it up, setting the intentions, and doing the process that we're going through now. Or if maybe there's a drawer that you can clean out. Maybe there's a corner of a room, a shelf. I like the shoebox sanctuary as a beginning because oftentimes, I shouldn't say oftentimes, sometimes people don't know where to put their sanctuary, and that can become a block because they don't know where, they don't start. And so if you just have a box, that's an easy start. Or they feel like they don't have room for a sanctuary. So a shoebox you can put anywhere. You can put underneath your clothes in the closet, and then you can pull it out when it's needed. So where is that sanctuary? Define the boundaries of it. Okay, now it's time to declutter. So the energetic side of this is to release the energy drains. So what emotions and beliefs come up when you look at clutter in your home? This can give you a clue as to the blocks that are preventing you not only in having this space, but in your life as well. Okay, once again, I want you to put your hands over your heart and reconnect with yourself. And then I want you to ask yourself this question. How peaceful and supportive does your space feel in reflecting who you are and who you're becoming? And you can give yourself a number between 1 and 10. Where are you at with that right now? Now I am going to guide you through a meditation to release this emotion, release these beliefs, and give it to God. Or if God is not your higher power, you can imagine it burning up in the sun. Okay, go ahead and close your eyes and put your hands out in front of you. And I want you to imagine these emotions and beliefs that we just tapped out inside your hands, that you're holding them. What color are they? What shape and texture are they? How heavy do they feel? Are they prickly or gooey, slimy, hard? And I want you to imagine God standing in front of you. And he holds his hands out, asking you to give them to him. And as you do, something magical happens. The second they touch his hands, these thoughts and beliefs that you held transform. What do they look like now? What shape and texture are they? What color are they? And he hands them back to you. What do they weigh? Are they light? Do they hold substance? What do you want to do with these new transformed beliefs and emotions? Do you want to bring them into your body? And if so, where? Where do you want to put them? If you choose to bring them into your body, what happens when you place them there? How do you feel now? What experiences, what sensations do you feel in your body? Is there a new emotion that bubbles up? Are there new beliefs that flitter to your mind and your heart? Take note of them and just feel them for a little while. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Now we are going to be tapping in these new beliefs and emotions. If something came to you during that meditation, I want you to use that. If you need a little guidance, you can repeat what I am saying, but feel free to use your intuition, let God talk to you, and bring in these new beliefs and emotions into our bodies. So now we're going to be pulling them into our bodies, starting with the crown chakra and all the way down to the root chakra, into the core of who you are and grounding them into the earth. So go ahead and tap on your eyebrow point, pulling it into the crown chakra. These new emotions, beliefs, and the unconditional love of God. I understand that peace is possible for me. I can always find time to connect with God and invite Him into my life. Breathe that in. Side of the eye, tapping it into third eye chakra. I believe that clarity is possible for me. I can focus my mind and find a quiet space where I can listen to my own intuition. Under the eye, tapping it into the throat chakra. I speak with calmness to myself and others. I prioritize my time and honor my needs and desires. Under the nose, tapping it into the heart chakra. I love that joy is possible for me and others. I create space to feel my own emotions. Chin, tapping it into the solar plexus chakra. I act with confidence. I trust that spending time in my sanctuary will help me feel more at peace and aligned. I can relax and find peace even as I tend to my home. Collarbone, tapping it into the sacral chakra. I feel empowered. I prioritize my needs and make time for myself while still showing love and care for others. Spending time in my sanctuary brings balance to my life. Under the arm, tapping it into the root chakra. I am grounded. I create time for what truly nourishes my soul and invites Christ's peace into my home. Go ahead and place your hands over your heart again. And I want you to ask yourself this question once again. How peaceful and supportive does my space feel in reflecting who I am and who I'm becoming? And even though you might not have created that space in the physical world yet, I believe that bringing in this energetic space will help you to create that physical space. And go ahead and give yourself a number. How peaceful and supportive does my space feel in reflecting who I am and who I'm becoming? Did that number go up, even if just by one number, 1 point? I hope it did. Okay, now it's time to create a shoebox sanctuary. So now that we have released the energetic drains, we are going to be releasing the physical drains. So as I was creating this presentation, this just came to me. So we are going to DTR your relationship you have with your items. So D is donate. If it is no longer aligned with your physical or energetic needs, but it could be to someone else, it is time to donate it. T is trash. This is not valuable to you or anyone else. Throw it away. No one needs that energy. R is relocate. This item is still aligned with your energy, but it does not match the intentions of this particular space. So if you are, let's take a fork, for example. You are aligned with this fork. You love this fork. It provides food to your mouth without messing up your hands. But you probably don't want this fork in your bathroom. That would be a relocation need. And then S is for stay. This item is aligned with your energy and with the function and intentions of this particular space. So this fork of yours, it belongs in the kitchen. So it would stay in the kitchen. Okay. Now we are going to decorate. So the energetic decoration is thinking of the emotions and the beliefs that you now have with the sanctuary, what the emotions that you want the sanctuary to elicit. What are the items that will elicit these emotions, that will spark memories or light you up or create the environment that you want to have in your sanctuary? So some examples might be crystals, essential oils, your journal, a comfy blanket, maybe some candles or plants, a picture of your family, loved ones that have passed on, maybe a picture of Christ. What are some of these items that will help bring these emotions? And go ahead and take a second to write them down. Go ahead and brainstorm. Some other ideas might be what colors or textures. And if you are creating a larger sanctuary, maybe in a corner of a room, or maybe you want to dedicate an entire room to it, what are some activities that you want to do in that sanctuary? Maybe yoga. So maybe a yoga mat would be a great idea to include in your sanctuary. Maybe some oracle cards. Maybe scriptures. Maybe you really love origami animals. And so you have some papers that are cut into those perfect squares where you can create these origami animals and then keep your favorite ones to decorate your sanctuary with. Maybe it's a puzzle so that you can keep in motion while connecting with your emotions. Now, I love to use astrology when I am helping women create their personal sanctuaries because we can look at a certain house in the astrology chart and it will tell us the types of energy, the decorating, sometimes the colors that will really help to create a sanctuary that is meant specifically for you. And if that's something you're interested in, I am going to be offering a workshop in December that you are welcome to sign up with. And I will give you the QR code for that at the end. Okay, maybe you have some of these items around you that you want to bring into your sanctuary. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting to advance the slides. Okay, so now into the physical part. Now that you have envisioned the sanctuary and some of the items that would help you create these emotions, your homework is going to be collecting these items and placing them in your sanctuary. And you can decorate your sanctuary. You can put colorful, if you're doing a box, you can put colorful paper on it or fabric, or line the inside with whatever you like. Make it your own and what really lights you up. And hopefully you'll come join me in the workshop and I can give you a little bit of some astrology, of your own astrology, to help you hone in more on what would really benefit your energy for a sanctuary feel. Okay, the most important thing when decorating is to make sure that the space reflects you. There is no right or wrong decision. So even if I tell you that your astrology chart says that this is the energy for your sanctuary and that doesn't feel right for you, trust yourself, because you are the authority for you. And it might be that there is some healing that needs to happen that is creating resistance. It could be that I could be interpreting it in a way that doesn't resonate with you, that maybe you haven't. Anyway, trust yourself. That's what I want to say. And this is the workshop if you are interested in learning about this, how your astrology can guide you in creating a sacred space where you can recharge, nurture yourself as you evolve, connect with God, and be unapologetically you. And I will share how you can incorporate your astrology into that. So thank you so much. I hope that you will create the sanctuary and look me up online. Take a picture of it. I really do want to see it. I want to see what you have created, and take a before picture and an after picture, because those really light me up. I love.
We need to put our Facebook group back in here.
Yes.
Tara's a Facebooker, so we can connect our groups and, be posting in both, really. I mean, like, you can share your workshop info in there and we can share pictures in both groups. That'll be really fun.
Yes,
so
that
I
would
love
be
it.
Amazing. I would love that. Were there any
Love
questions?
Your workshop, is that on December 17th?
Yes, it is.
Yes, beautiful. The different date than ours. So I was like, so glad. I'm like, oh, I hope we're not competing on dates. And we're not. We're good.
Yep.
Yay.
And I am still working on creating that workshop. So if you have questions, or you can help me figure out what information you want in that workshop. So
do you know, and I put it in the chat, but what this reminds me of is, this is just huge for me because I love Zen gardens. I will show you my Zen gardens, and they're sitting here, but they don't have all the elements. They're not aligned with everything that needs to be in my box. And what I realized is that I actually have a physical Zen garden in my backyard, which I can't really get into in the winter, right? And this is just blowing my mind that you can create, but that's what it feels like, is this shoebox sanctuary is like the tabletop Zen garden.
yeah.
So you don't have to have it in physical large space. It's really energy.
Yes.
And I love the boundaries of it, because what's different with the shoebox is like there's a containment to it that feels very secure to me. So I realize that's important in mine.
Yeah.
Like a room would
and then
be,
making sure you hold that boundary,
and have the boundary with, yes,
that your kids
energetically
are coming in and leaving their dragons in your meditation
yes.
space.
For sure. It's almost like the opposite of the God box, where it's like in a God box, you put everything in it that you want in it, which you would, but you also take everything out energetically that you don't want in your sanctuary.
Yes.
Just like cleaning the room. Oh my gosh. This all makes sense.
Love it.
Beautiful. Okay. Perfect. There's a couple maybe questions. Let's see if we have one. Was from Annie, who's going to take over for me in just a sec. Tara, what do you say about having at least one messy space in your home where everywhere else is decluttered? What does that mean?
Definitely.
The junk room.
Definitely. Because I feel like if you try to keep this sanctuary space in your entire home, your mind is going to go crazy with perfectionism and trying to keep it right. So I wouldn't have a bigger space than one room for your sanctuary. You need to be able to live in your home. Things are going to be coming in and out. And yes, you want to keep your home tidy, but don't be anal about it. And let your kids have their own space too, right? Kid creation is a very messy process. And so let them have that mess.
Yeah. So guilt-free room, maybe, that
Yes.
you just kind of let things be where they are.
Yes.
but not everywhere. That would be
Right.
nice. Yeah. Wonderful. And then Erica had a question on watching the sessions from yesterday. They are being posted. 2 of them are on the YouTube channel. We will get those links in here. So I'm going to be adding the Facebook group link, the YouTube channel link. Please subscribe. We're getting our subscriptions going up. Thank you, because that's a win for us. And then thank you, Tara. This is like one of the real treasures that's going to be an evergreen program, or opportunity for people. And obviously, it's beautiful and it was valuable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to come speak.
Okay,
Tara, I'm actually curious about because I teach environmental health and we talk a lot about hoarding. Is that an area that you've delved into, or is that not one of your areas that you?
Clinical hoarding, I have not had experience with really helping with that. Okay. I would love to help people declutter the emotions that are causing the hoarding, the beliefs that are causing the hoarding, and then seeing really what can manifest from that. I myself have a hoarding tendency, so I can speak of my own experience. I was in a scarcity mindset, and so I was collecting free things. I was like, oh, I don't need it now, but someday I might. I don't have any decorations right now, but so maybe when our basement is finished, I can use this to decorate it. Or, I was just in scarcity, and so I was just collecting and hoarding, and our basement filled up. But I can show you terrifying pictures of my house at this stage of life, and then releasing those beliefs, releasing those emotions, and really honing in on what do I want? What do I want in my life? What do I want in my space? What do I want in my energy field? And it wasn't all these things that didn't light me up that I got because of scarcity. And so sloughing off all of that energy and releasing it out of my physical space, it really makes a difference.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
If you like EFT and tapping, you are going to love 0 Point Meridian. It's a technique developed from the basics of EFT, but more advanced. It's a major component in the Love Solve Academy and a training program that you can take for yourself or as a practitioner.
So I was trained in EMDR in 2009, and they have this really simple way of like, do you get better or not? And they measure it consistently. Very rarely did I get a tool that I could measure pre and post. So I took that model and I used that in creating 0 Point Meridian. It's been really cool to do 0 Point Meridian in groups and then see change like right in our webinars. Even is whatever we haven't processed and resolved within ourselves, we will attract it outside of us. And it will become like so undeniable, so like unavoidable that you have to deal with it, right? So our goal is actually weed out this guilt and shame. But the more emotional charge you can bring to this, the better. Because what we want to do is we want to actually surface the charge as much as possible, because that's what we're going to neutralize. And there's some quantum stuff to it. I'll tell you more about that.
To learn more, text ZPM to 385-388-8485.